Good morning and welcome to today's video on nickels. Today we're talking about Jefferson nickels. Jefferson nickels are fun to collect. There's some value coins still in circulation, and there's a lot of coins that are hard to find that have relatively no value. So it's a great way to start a coin collection if you've never done it before. There's very low cost involved. In fact, you can get a collection going at a nickel a piece by going to the bank and purchasing rolls or boxes of nickels straight from the bank. That way, if you get bored or decide you don't want to do anything with it or you need the money, if you put it right back in the bank, you haven't lost a thing. It's a great way to collect. It's how people used to collect back in the day, which was way back in the whenevers, the 1800s, 1900s, and so on. And here we are in 2020, getting ready to go to 2021, and a chance for you to learn a little bit on how I collect Jefferson nickels. One way is you can always go to eBay and purchase a set that someone has put together, and you're done. Way to go, congratulations. Another way is to learn about the different coins, what they are, what they have to offer as far as value, how to find them, some of the key dates. So 1939 is the second year that the coins were issued. Denver, the 1939 Denver coin is one of the key dates in the series, and we'll take a look at some mintages here in a bit and show you why. It's a low mintage, early issue, a couple different varieties to look at, but a 39D, if you can find one in change, I've found maybe two my entire life in change. Very difficult. Here's a lot of 1939Ds on eBay for $16, and they appear to have some sort of problem with each one. That's why they're so cheap. Someone's just unloading their garbage. But if you need them to fill your collection, then that's one way to do it. Get yourself a filler, and then until you find a coin that you really want. Another great coin is 1950 from Denver. The 1950 from Philadelphia is also a good collectible coin. The 1950 Denver coin uncirculated. Most of them were saved because it was such a low mintage coin. But you can get them for $10, $11 for a nice uncirculated coin. A circulated coin for about $5. Another coin that's available in circulation right now is the 1982 Philadelphia nickel. Now these coins, 82 and 83, the government did not make any kind of uncirculated coin sets in mass distribution. The only way to get them was through the US mints if you went and got a souvenir set. Some companies took it upon themselves to make coin sets from that year. So the Philadelphia 82 nickels and dimes and quarters have some great value to them if you can locate them in uncirculated condition. You can still find them in change, but they're pretty well beat up. They made so many of these coins, the mint itself, the dies that they used to strike the coins were very worn out. And so to find a real top shaped coin from 1982 Philadelphia, pretty much from any denomination, it's difficult to do. So here's just a nickel from a few years ago for $9 and $7 and $7. Just a general circulated coin for $1.50. You're looking at a nickel in cost, that's all it's gonna cost you. And then you're able to sell it for a little bit of a premium. Here's a certified one in MS66 from PCGS, $26 for a buy it now for a nickel. A set of nickels on eBay for 82 P&D, free shipping for $7.20. Another coin that's easy to find in circulation, not easy to find in circulation, is the 2009 Jefferson nickels. They're very difficult. They were a low mintage coin. The 2009 Philadelphia coins, apparently a ton of them ended up in Puerto Rico. And then the Denver coins actually didn't start reaching circulation until 2010 due to the slow economy back then. The US mint set, which we did a video on earlier, you can see just the nickel, the P&D nickel. They're trying to get $7.89 for the pair with a satin finish uncirculated. That person making that offer. Here's another one for $7.99 for the pair. Just for the uncirculated, well, it says circulated condition. So these are just one of each out of circulation for $4. 2009P, 99 cents, 2009P, 295. So again, they're not super easy to find, but they are out there if you start going through rolls. I'm gonna, in my experience, I'll buy a box of $100 worth of nickels, and out of those 50 rolls, you might get one or two 2009 coins, where you might actually get 5 or 6 1946 nickels. Silver nickels were issued from 1942 through 1945. These coins were issued during World War II, and the reason was that the copper and nickel and stuff that was in the original nickels, that was needed for the war effort. So they started making them with silver and manganese and different compositions, And so right now, if you have 40 of these coins, which makes one roll, that's worth about 2 ounces of silver within those nickels, depending on how worn down they are. They're differentiated because they're a different color, but also on the back of the nickel, there's a large mint mark above the dome. And if you see that large mint mark, then you can tell it's one of the silver nickels. So 1942, they made a 1942 Philadelphia and Denver coin without silver. And then they made a 1942 Philadelphia with the big P and a 1942 silver San Francisco nickel with a big S. There's 11 coins in the silver nickel set, and you can still find those and change. People just think they're dirty, ugly old nickels. They're actually worth a nice premium. Next up is the 1951 nickels, 51S, 51P, 51D, coming out of 1950, where they saved all the nickels. 1951, the economy got a little bit better. They circulated a lot more, but the 51S is a great coin to collect. 1949S going into the 1950s with a slower economy, and the reason they made fewer nickels that year. So 49S, again, another great coin to collect in pretty much any of the denominations, but the nickels, they're hard to find as well. And then finally, we're going to show real quickly on the mintages, if we can find, what did I do with the mintages? We'll go back here for a second. So the mintages on the nickels, you can find the information online. So here's an example, 1938, first year, the Philadelphia coin. They actually minted over 19 million of them. The Denver one, 5 million. Oh, I work on my computer skills here. And the San Francisco one for 1938, just 4 million. For 1939, there's 120 million of the Philadelphia coins made. There are some varieties that are worth collecting, but you can actually probably find more 1939 nickels in change than you would 2009 nickels in change. 39D with only 3,500,000. That's why it's a collectible. The S, I think, is a sleeper coin with 6.6 million made. You can still buy them pretty cheap by the roll online. You can see the 40s with 176 million, 41, 203 million, and so on. You get into the silver nickels, they have pretty good mintages. If you keep going down, you start getting to the 46, 47, 48. Coming out of the war years, the Philadelphia coins with the high mintages, the San Francisco with the lowest mintages. Get into the 1949S here with 9 million, the 1948S with 11 million. Then the 1950 right here, you can see with 2.63 million nickels made. It's the key to the series of regular strike coins. There are some with lower mintages, but they weren't released for general circulation. As you go into the 50s, pretty well available, all dates. Until you get 1955, it's a tougher date with 7.8 million made. And they're all in bad condition, the ones that I've seen. If you find them in circulation, they're probably in pretty poor condition. You can buy a few in mint condition, but you would have to, or in mint state, but you'd have to pay a premium on those. 1958 would be the next key date with 17 million made. Those are fun to find. There's just enough of them out there that you can find them. It's about half the mintage of the 2009D. If you keep going into the 60s, they're pretty well made. There's not a whole lot there that's exciting. The 61 or 62 or 63 Philadelphias are harder to find. 64, they made more coins than you could possibly imagine, but they did that with a lot of the 1964s as they were converting from silver to clad coinage and the other denominations. 65, 6, and 7, no mint marks. They all made them, the different mints made them, but they didn't put mint marks on them in an effort to keep collectors from taking them and hoarding them like they've been doing for the late 50s and early 60s. A lot of hoards of rolls from back then. 68D and S are actually a really great coin to collect. They're very hard to find in good conditions, 91 million and 100 million. For modern coins, that's a low mintage. The same with the 69S, which is actually not that hard to find. It's relatively easy. My favorite coin of the series of way back is the 1971 Philadelphia. Almost impossible to find in good condition. 106 million made. For whatever reason, hard to find. I challenge you to go through a box of nickels, $100 face value, 50 roll box of nickels, and see if you can't find a 1971. And if you do, is it in good condition? You'll find more 2009 Ds, you'll find more silver nickels usually, and you'll find more coins from the 40s and 50s than you will 1971. Keeping going, the 70s are kind of boring. 76 is because of the bicentennial, people save those. 78D is a little tougher to find for whatever reason. And you get into the 80s. And it doesn't look like it from mintages, but the 82P is 292 million, the Denver 373 million, 83P 561 million. made and the 83D 536 million made, but they're difficult to find in uncirculated condition. Going through the 80s, 86 was a better year to collect just for whatever reason. Again, a lot of times when the economy goes up and down, that causes a lot of circulation or not circulation of coins. People do tend to collect these nickels and put them in jars or in their junk drawers or in their car ashtrays and such. And then eventually when the economy gets bad, they all get dumped back into circulation. The 90s are interesting. A lot of coins made, but there's certain dates in uncirculated, like a 97D, if you can find a roll of those, they have a super premium because nobody really collected, they just kind of spent them. Economies were going really well in the mid 90s, and so really no reason to keep them. Plus nobody thought the modern coins would have any value. So some of the Philadelphia mints from the 90s are collectible as well. I like the 98P, even though there's almost 700 million of those made. Good luck finding one in good condition. Get to the 2000s, super high mintages. 2003 is the last year of the original design. 2004 and 5, there's some commemorative coins made. There's the Peace Medal, Keelboat, Bison, and the Finding the Oceans, the Lewis and Clark commemoratives. Those are fun to collect. There's some varieties on the Buffalo and some of the others. Get into the new design starting 06, 07, 08. The 08P with 297 million made is a very good collectible. Harder to find, especially in good condition. Then we get to the 2009s, and here you can see 39.8 million of the 2009P, and of the 2009D, only 46.8 million. And these are the total mintages that were released for circulation and put in sets and such. They're hard to find. I did find a few uncirculated rolls in 2010 at a convenience store in Las Vegas of the 2009D. The 2009P, I've had to buy multiple rolls from a guy out of Puerto Rico who must have got half of the entire population of the coinage shipped to Puerto Rico. 2010, at one point I got a full box of uncirculated 2010s from a bank. I didn't realize they'd have a low mintage, put them back in the bank. Probably should have held on to some of those. Nothing really exciting going on from there. The really high mintages, but again, it's the idea of collecting all the different coins in the series. It's a challenge. Ask you to take your time and go to the bank and enjoy. Here's a box of nickels that I've collected over the years. I saved the rolls, put the dates on them, what I think will be collectible over time. 1947, 1948, 1953D. This one's a 1958 Philadelphia roll. And then here's one I had to buy. This is a 2009D roll. It's in uncirculated condition. I paid $37 for this roll. Super sharp coins, very nice. I'll hold on to that and give it to the kids someday. A chance for them to cash it in when it's worth, hopefully, what the 1950Ds are worth. Anyway, enjoy your coin collecting. It's a lot of fun. Online's plenty of resources. Go back and check it out and find out which coins you want to collect. Collect your birth year, collect your friends, things that happened in the world that are meaningful to you. Space shuttle exploded in 1986. You graduated whatever year. 2001 was a real tough year for the country, but there's some collectible coins there. And just enjoy. That's what coin collecting is all about. Then if you get bored, go find a slot machine or put them back in the bank. Thank you for tuning in. This is Steve from Alaska, doing coin collecting, doing card collecting. And here's my high dollar graphics. Please subscribe and please like. I hope to have you back. We'll have some more videos. We'll actually go through some of these rolls here in another video and give you a chance to see some of the coins that I've set aside that I've pulled out of circulation.